Yes, everyone, what's going on? My name is Stephen Howson. This is a tactical preview for Manchester United against Luton. And as the title says, it's time for change. Not like that, but let's freshen it up a little bit. Let's get some lads who are definitely going to need some minutes. Let's see a couple of faces given an opportunity to play. And let's try and get some positivity under our belt for the start of the season. So here we go then. So Ole, after the Palace game, he says, we've got to recover and prepare for the next one. We have got Luton Tuesday. Obviously, we need to give game time to some of the players. So I think he's hinting at like a little bit of a rotated side, but shouldn't be too bad, to be honest. Bottom line is we have to be ready because the league has started. The season has started. Okay, Michael Owen. So team news-wise then, Tuanzebe and Phil Jones, supposedly the only two players that have been ruled out. But I do expect to see some changes in the squad to gain a little bit of match sharpness. Dean Henderson, Baye, Williams, Igalo, I reckon all of them are going to feature in the starting lineup. Luton are missing their defensive duo of Dan Potts and Brendan Galloway, as well as Ewan O'Kane through injury. We are likely to see a start for United Academy graduate Ryan Tunnicliffe in midfield, and Luton are his 8th club since moving away from United at 27 years of age. Interestingly, about Ryan Tunnicliffe, you'll have heard you might have heard of the likes of Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, Ravel Morrison. Those players came through in his team. At the same time that he came through, you had the likes of Will Keane, obviously Michael Keane as well, in that 2011 FA Cup winning squad. Ravel Morrison, supposedly the most gifted player coming through the academy. Paul Pogba obviously went on and won the World Cup and all sorts of other shit, moving for £89 million, once a world record fee. But Ryan Tunnicliffe was the lad that won the Under-18s Player of the Year that season, very interestingly. I always rated Ryan. I thought he was a good player. A lot of spirit about him. If anything, if I had to describe him as a footballer, he's very Eric Dyer-ish in terms of how he plays and a little bit of how he looks as well, to be fair. But he was a good little player, so it'd be good to see how he's getting on. Like I said, obviously 27 years of age right now. United have faced Luton on 39 occasions, which is probably more than you thought you would expect. The last meeting coming in April 1992. We played out a 1-1 draw last time we met, which stopped an 8-match winning run for United. United have won 28 of those. Luton have won 4 and there's been 7 draws. This is obviously unsurprisingly the first time Ollie and Nathan Jones have faced each other as managers. Jones has managed Luton for the last 3 years. It's his first job before an unsuccessful spell at Stoke saw him return back in 2020. He's got a 53% win ratio as Luton manager, winning 97 of his 183 games in charge. Form, I know this is a tough one really for form. United's form's not great. We are 0-1 for this season after losing to Crystal Palace 3-1 at Old Trafford this season. We were knocked out of last season's competition by City in the semi-finals, losing 3-2 on aggregate after the 3-1 absolute demolition that we received at Old Trafford, and obviously went on and won 1-0 at the Etihad. Luton have started their season off brightly. They've won all 4 of their games so far and they've only conceded twice. So they will be up for this. They defeated Norwich 3-1 in round 1 and then they overcome Reading 1-0 in round 2. They've got wins against Barnsley and Derby, and they are currently 3rd in the Championship. They like to play a 4-3-3. They have got 3 pretty versatile forwards who rotate and are very versatile across the forward line. Their starting 11 that they've fielded in both league games this season has been an average age of 27, so it's an experienced football team. United's average age against Palace was 25, and I expect it to be even lower as we field our 11 against Luton tomorrow night. They do tend to be direct in their attacks. They go down both wings, and they use the fullbacks regularly for wingers with long balls. They like to use the channel. 29-year-old striker James Collins is considered their main danger man. He's got 4 goals in 3 appearances so far this season, and he was the club's top scorer in his debut season in the Championship last season, getting 14 goals. That being said, this is the 11 that I expect United to go with, and I think I'm going to get this pretty close. I do. I think this is going to be fairly close to it. We're going with Dean Henderson in net. We are going with Wan-Bissaka, Baye, Teden Mengi and Brandon Williams for a very, very young defence. But each position's got someone with a little bit of experience in it, as you'll notice as we go through the team. Nemanja Matic in midfield with Fredge and Donny van de Beek. And then Mason Greenwood on the right, James on the left, give Marcus the night off, and Odion Igalo up front. Key player for United, I think, is probably going to be Donny van de Beek. I thought Donny was very good in the little cameo that we saw from him. Shown a lot of promise, shown a lot of things that I'm really looking forward to him seeing from him and doing as he progresses into the team. And hopefully it allows more of giving Pogba and giving Bruno the night off, because I think that's going to be very, very important. Also like to see Mason Greenwood brought back into the fold and starting, because I think he is someone that I expect to have an absolutely monumental season. I'm going to go to the Patreon group for the questions. If you'd like to support the channel and get back in the mixer with all of that lot, the link for that is in the description, or you can go to patreon.com/Stephen Howson. And you'll also get all of the Paddock FC full 90 minutes and interviews as well. And if you're a Patreon member and you're going, what the fuck are they? They're in the Facebook group. Do we use this game to raise the fitness levels as we are clearly behind? Yes. Zach says, the players are clearly rusty as hell. Do we have to start the first team to get some minutes in everyone's legs and shake off that rust? No, I think you give minutes to some of the fringe players, but you do play a few in the mix. Rib says, Arbis says, surely not an MK Don's replica shit show. I fucking hope not, lad. I really do. Should this be treated more like a pre-season game, like building fitness? Yes, but I also wouldn't completely overlook Luton. This isn't a fucking League 2 team that you're coming up against here. This is a team that can definitely hurt you. But we could also easily put out a very rotated 11, the one I just chose, and still get a result here. I think so, anyway. Why are we so fucking shit, says some cunt in Finland. That's his username. We've started badly. Right, honestly, there's several reasons for this. We collapsed in a heap at the end of the season. We took Europa League too seriously. In hindsight, it would have been okay if we'd have won it, but we didn't. It gave us then a prolonged season, which gave us a truncated pre-season, or basically no pre-season. They've literally had 2 weeks off and cracked on again. There's going to be fallout from that. Oh, I got an idea. Do you know how you mitigate that shit? You mitigate that shit with bringing in some more players. Because if you'd have brought in some more players, they lift the morale of the players, they lift everyone's work rate, they literally take the pressure off by being able to fucking play, and that's how you get through having this. This is the season, more than any other season, that you need more players than ever. This is the season that you need to bring in more players and have the biggest squad you've ever had going into a season, because things that were not taken into account, on top of injuries, suspensions, resting players and natural rotation and form, there's also a fucking global pandemic which some of our players are contracting. So all it takes is one player to come in and sit there and knock off 5 or 6 positive tests, and that's half of your fucking team missing. Now, if you choose to play that weekend, and I think you pretty much have to unless your entire squad is isolating, now you're looking at reduced capabilities in your 11. This was the season to go fucking turbo with the biggest squad ever, because there's no pre-season, you need more options, you need more rest, and at the end of this season, we've got European competition as well. It's an absolute nightmare. This was the one where you go for it and you bring everybody in. Let's see what comments we've got on YouTube. Do us a favour, give us a like if you think we're going to put out a young team that's going to do the business tomorrow, and give us a downvote if you think we're just going out. See what everyone thinks of that one. Julian says, I do support them, but Dan James isn't the quality we need for the way we are playing. Arjuna says 12-0 win. A little bit giddy, I'm going to be honest. Lindelof, Maguire score all the goals solo themselves. Mata really should start, says Anthony. I looked at Mata, to be honest, as I was putting my team together, and I couldn't really find room for him in the squad. Have I seen Paddy Evra's Instagram video? No. Should I? Has he done something hot? Do you have a look for us, Adam? We have to stick by Ole. I mean, we are, surely. Why Dan James? Why Dan James? Because who else have you got on the left-hand side? Marcus is still struggling with injury, as far as I'm concerned. I think he needs a little bit more of a prolonged rest. If he gets that rest, I think he'll be happy days. Otherwise, I think you're going to be in the shit a little bit. So that's what I think anyway. Let me know your team thoughts, who you want to see brought in. Do you reckon Ted and Mengi is going to be given an opportunity to start? All of that good stuff. And the lads will be back tomorrow night for a watch along. Come and join them. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.